Canvas doing good though. I'll try to see if I have a break to do a video without disturbing interruptions that will cause me to ruin this video. It will cause the ruin of this video. I've been slow to get videos up for you because I filed a complaint with the shelter and with the chief of police and with what I thought was my counterclaim. And in every condition I was told to, if you don't like it, leave. And so, if you're unfamiliar with the law, when you tell, or when you are the police, and you try to keep somebody from reporting a crime, or you stop the investigation of a crime, or you try to convince somebody to look the other way, especially if there's money involved to do so, that's a crime in and of itself. And what's being done to me is they're doing a false hope by trying to get me focused on looking for a place to live. If you don't like it, leave. And what's going to happen is they're dragging their feet, as I'm the one who finds a place and then brick wall, and they refuse to pursue diligently in the matter, as they're going down avenues that are not going to get them anywhere, rather than trying to get me a place to live. And so yeah, the chief of police likewise is refusing to do his job and arrest those guilty of crimes, protecting the shelter, protecting the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who are trafficking us as homeless through tithing. And so, as I am aware that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is not just a fraud, as they keep lying to us, but a criminal fraud with intention of overthrowing American government to get their kingdom of Deseret restored. When you now go over the church news or listen to conference, you now see differently of what they're actually saying to us, what they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes with. And so let's go over the church news for this video. We'll take a break from doing Nelson conference clips, as I've been distracted on purpose. And so the first one you have, as I had to shrink it so they're now more in order, you have at the top, Sister Browning and Ye minister in St. Louis in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Notice it's none of the apostles. Notice it's women leaders. Now, when you know that the church is racist, sexist, bigoted, hateful of the poor, anti-Semitic, etc., 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 you now see what they're doing here. They sent the women leaders to do the job that the leaders of the church should have been standing up and doing a special little presentation video that Nelson would do for, say Thanksgiving or Christmas. But instead, they sent the women to deal with it. That's because they want nothing to do with blacks in the celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Even my mom refused to acknowledge the contributions of Martin Luther King Jr. by saying that the hearsay accusations of him being a wife cheater, cheating on his wife, was sufficient to nullify all of what he did. And whether the accusations were true or not, it's insignificant to the abuse that blacks have received in America. So it's racist. And next you have the latest on temple news. Why would they keep pushing temples? They're very elegant. They're very expensive. Why would they do this? Well, when you put this very expensive, nice temple in a third world country, yeah, you get the point. They hate the poor. And tithing is a criminal operation. It's a protection racket. And so you have to pay to play. You are forced. It is not an option. You don't get to pick and choose. It's not a donation. You are forced. Everybody knows this. Nobody wants to acknowledge it. Even ex-Mormons. You won't acknowledge that you are forced to pay tithing. Come on, guys. It's a criminal operation. Haven't you watched The Sopranos now that you're an ex-Mormon? They're just doing religion rather than sanitation. And so then you have Mary Crandall Hales dies. She's the wife of a late apostle of the church. So obviously we're going to see her. We're not going to see regular members of the church on here, because you're not important. Then you have Elder and Sister Gong will be speaking at Roots Tech 2023. And so, yeah, there's always an apostle that's the guest speaker at those events. This year they've designated Gong. Nelson did it in 2017, where he had some fun stuff for ex-Mormons to post about. So then we get to 18th of January. Church celebrates 10-year collaboration with UNICEF. And if you've watched the videos on this from me, the church will not act like UNICEF does. They give to other charities, and they give minimally. One of them, I believe, would say that they donated the most ever to an organization. And it's only millions, like 3 million or something like that, 10 million maybe. And you then realize, wow, the church doesn't really give much, do they? Yeah, because they hate the poor. This is just a show. See, this isn't about them giving more to UNICEF for the 10-year anniversary. Nope. They're just saying, hey, we've collaborated with them for 10 years. You know, what would have been proper if they were doing charity themselves and collaborating with the UNICEF would be to say we're giving 10 million for the 10-year anniversary. But nope. Then you have Elder Anderson offers 6 ways to strengthen faith in Jesus. I had intended to do a video on this. I took a snapshot of the 6 ways. But again, faith in Jesus? Just faith? And Jesus? Constantine's Jesus? Because there is no other Jesus. If you try to say that there was Jesus before Constantine created Jesus, you're now creating another Jesus. And that's what Nelson has done, because they've turned Joseph Smith's visions into literal history. And I've gone over and explained that for you. So please, if this is the only video of you watching, please understand you're going to humiliate yourself if you dare to make a snideful comment. Elder D. Todd Christofferson dedicates the San Juan, Puerto Rico temple. What's wrong with this picture? Well, Puerto Rico is having some problems. not just financially, but natural disasters. And there they are, dedicating another very nice, very expensive, very lavish temple in Puerto Rico, which is struggling financially. And the church still demands that they pay 10% as they're financially struggling. Alright, then you have church donates Mammography Digitizer to fight breast cancer in Uruguay. Church isn't donating this. This is an outright lie. The church requests from the people who make a Mammography Digitizer to have them donate it, and then the church takes the credit. The church has long since done away with the LDS hospital, and so they have no Mammography Digitizers. Don't be fooled by this. The church did not donate it. They had a Mormon who was involved in making the Mammography Digitizers to give it away. The same with the PPE for China. The church did all this thing about, oh, we're giving to China the PPE so that we can have a temple in Shanghai. And then you watch the church news clip and you realize, oh, they went to a Mormon who makes PPE and had them donate it. The great con. The sleight of hand. The shell game. Perfect. I went to New York on my mission. Saw the shell game in operation. Learned all about it. McFarland, what were you thinking? He gave up $20 thinking he was going to figure it out. I tried to tell him no. But yeah, I saw the whole operation. It's elaborate. Alright, and then 15 experiences of people who followed Nelson's invitations. Testimonials. Whenever anybody gives testimonials, you know that the business is a con. They're trying to steal your money. And here the church is pulling the same stunt. And so, last one, as we're at 12 minutes here. LDS Church History Library is now the Family Search Library. They're just changing the names, which is no big deal. They're just harmonizing and consolidating the names to simplify it. So, alrighty. That's how you really understand the language they're using once you know who they are. So don't be fooled.